To conduct our college panel this afternoon, I would like to bring to the stage the Associate Director for Counseling at Westminster Schools and the current president of NACAC, Ms. Nancy Bean. Please welcome her to the stage, and she will introduce the panel.
Thank you, LaShondra. I'm delighted to be with everybody again and to see this big crowd of young people, I think, coming in from the parking lot this morning. I counted cars from at least 15 or 20 states, so this is exciting that folks have come a long distance for this program that I think is one of the best programs that I attend each year. I'm going to start right away with letting Leslie from Vanderbilt introduce himself. And what I would like for you all to do, students, please, 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 while I am having them introduce themselves and tell just one thing about their colleges, and then I'm going to ask one more question of the panelists so that they can be answering this, but you are the ones that have questions about the college process. What am I supposed to do as I apply? There've got to be concerns that you have. So while we are doing our introductions and while they are answering that first question, I really want some of you to come up to the microphones. There's one on either side, and you can come up, and then I will turn it over to you once I finish that first question. Now, I have 3 pages of questions here that I can ask if you don't get up and ask some, but it will be much more meaningful if we get to the questions that you have. So if you will be making your way, and you can start right now while I'm talking, to the microphone, and then we'll go back and forth to either side. We're going to quit about right at 1:10, so this is going to go fairly fast, but I think it's an important part of the afternoon for you. So please, students, be thinking about questions you have, and while we're talking, come on up to the microphones and begin to get ready to ask your questions. So Leslie from Vanderbilt, would you start for us?
Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you to everyone from NSHSS for having us today. My name is Leslie Sandiford. I'm from Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. I'll share one thing about Vanderbilt. It's a pretty important statistic. You might want to write it down. Our squirrel to student ratio at Vanderbilt is 3 to 1. So we have 3 squirrels to every 1 student.
I love it.
It's real. I'm not joking. It's a real stat. So if you don't like squirrels, don't come for a visit. But we always say that in our presentations because it's a national arboretum. So it is in the city of Nashville, but it in a lot of ways feels like a park-like campus. So you get that campus-like feel with the advantage of the city too.
Hello, you all. My name is Joya Patterson. I'm happy to be here with you guys today. Kind of similar to Leslie, we do have squirrels on our campus too. And like I said, I'm with the University of Kentucky, and we're located in Lexington, Kentucky. Something that is pretty unique about our campus is that we're one of 5 universities that have pharmacy, law, medicine, engineering, agriculture, all on one continuous campus.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Norfolk, and I'm the Southeast Regional Enrollment Coordinator with the University of Cincinnati. So we don't have very many squirrels in Cincinnati, but we did create Benadryl, so if you have any allergies, we will take care of you. So with that, a great thing about Cincinnati is that with our medical campus, it is not just practice focused, it is research focused as well, which is where Benadryl came from.
Good afternoon. My name is Jillian Cleveland, and I'm a regional recruitment manager for The Ohio State University. Go Bucks, woo! Yay, Buckeyes! And so my cool fact, those things on our helmets, if you watch a football game, are actually Buckeye leaves and not some other things that people may think they are. And they are actually from a tree that grows native to the state of Ohio. And Buckeyes are actually poisonous. So that's really cool, and people don't know it.
Are we? Hello? Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Ernie Evans. I am from Seton Hall University in South Orange, New Jersey. Although we don't have Buckeyes, nor do we have a whole lot of squirrels. One cool thing about Seton Hall is the way we got our name. We are the Pirates. We are named the Pirates because in 1924, we were it was during a baseball championship game, and we were down 11-1, and we came back in the ninth inning and won the game 12-11, and the announcer said, "We stole the game like a band of pirates." So that's pretty cool. But Seton Hall is very big on hands-on learning. So if you're looking for a school that has a lot of internship opportunities with our proximity to New York City, we really, really encourage that hands-on experience. So.
Hi, y'all. My name is Whitney Lewis. I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Oglethorpe University, which is just up in Brookhaven. I'm going to tell you about our petrel promise. So our mascot is the stormy petrel, which is a tiny bird that's small and bitey and flies into storms. Don't ask me how we got it. I don't know. But our petrel promise is that you will graduate from Oglethorpe in 4 years and get a job within 6 months, or you can come back to Oglethorpe for a 5th year for free.
Wow.
So that's it.
Wow.
I know, right? It's awesome. So that, I think, really shows our commitment to not only providing an awesome education, but making sure that our students are successful professionals.
Hello, my name is Maya Walker, and I am the Assistant Director for Regional Recruitment for Miami University in Ohio, not Florida. We are located in Oxford, Ohio, so southwest Ohio, to be exact, right on the Indiana-Kentucky state line. So, I mean, we have some cool facts, but I'll just get right to it because I'm cooler than the school, so come visit me at the college fair. But we are known for giving students the best of both worlds. So we offer the public university experience as far as 16,000 students, over 500 student organizations, D1 athletics. But in the classroom, we bring that down drastically and give you a liberal arts education, 17-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and an average class size of 30 in all different majors. So we're really committed to giving you 2 different experiences for the price of one.
Great.
Right. Hello, my name is Denise Williams. I'm representing Fisk University of Nashville, Tennessee. Some of you all may know some of our notable alum, scholars W.E.B. Du Bois, Dickie Giovanni. Any Beyonce fans in the audience? Great. She's not college educated, but her father is a Fisk graduate. And so our motto at Fisk is to cultivate scholars and leaders one by one, and we do that by keeping everything very small and intimate. And we're just an excellent historically black college, ranked number 7 out of all HBCUs, and we're very proud of that. So feel free to visit me at the college fair.
Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio Mcfarland. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Claflin University. Claflin University is in Orangeburg, South Carolina, which is about 50 miles from Charleston, South Carolina, about 40 miles from Columbia, South Carolina. We're the oldest historically black college in South Carolina, founded in 1869. We have about 2,000 students, average classroom size 14-to-1, and I guess the most unique partnership or thing about the university, we share the same founders as Boston University, so our students have the unique opportunity to also do a semester there for the same exact cost of coming to us. So we do have tons of scholarship opportunities. Our students, yeah, we look forward to seeing you. I don't want to take a lot of time, so.
Thank you.
Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Parker and I represent Bocconi University. We are located in Milan, Italy, and I am the only European university up here. I don't know how many of you guys are thinking about studying abroad as part of an exchange program, but keep in mind that there are universities outside of the States that offer full degree programs. We are mostly known for our economics and finance programs. I'll be at the college fair, so come by and talk to me. Thank you.
Great. Well, I am very, very impressed with the panel. They're going to add some humor this afternoon, but they're also going to give you a lot of good advice. And I'm phenomenally impressed with the students. They are already up, ready to ask. Usually I have to wait a while, so rather than asking my next question, I'm going to go right to this young lady who was number one in asking her question. So if you will, thank you.
Hi,
And tell us your name and where you're from, and then ask your question, if you will.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Hi, I'm Anaya Munger. I'm from Columbus, Ohio originally, and I go to Westlake High School in Georgia now.
Okay.
And so my question is, I'm in the IB program at Westlake, and I was trying to figure out, like, do colleges, are they more impressed with IB, AP, or having more intriguing, like...
So what we'll do is have a couple of people answer each question. So if somebody raised their hand and IB, AP, or what in terms of rigor of curriculum, what do you all favor? Yes.
So we look at both very favorably, right? I don't think there's a right answer, and I think it depends on your strengths as a student. I will say that with liberal arts schools like Oglethorpe really value the interdisciplinary nature of IB. So that's something that we definitely look at. We offer an IB scholarship to students, so if you complete the IB diploma, we award you $2,500 a year. Just for completing it, because we think that that type of education sets students up really well to succeed in a kind of intensive reading and writing curriculum.
So that's great. Another one more? Yeah, Jillian?
I think it's going to be important to know during this whole panel that not every school does everything the same way. Right. And so a lot of schools that look at students holistically do understand that not every school offers IB. So we want families to know if your student goes to a school that isn't IB, you're okay. However, just make sure you're as competitive and as academically strong as you can be at your school. So if your school offers IB and you're taking those IB courses, that's amazing. However, if your school doesn't, just make sure you're taking those AP courses that are offered and you are challenging yourself academically.
All right, one more, yes.
Just to kind of piggyback off what Jillian was saying, also be aware too, and this is very important for students, if you're taking AP, IB, honors courses, pay attention to the grades you're getting in the classes. Please. Because a lot of times your guidance counselors will push you because they're trying to explain to you or trying to tell you that all schools want you to have these classes. But if you're getting C's or you're not going to pass, that probably means you may or may not pass the test for those courses to get the appropriate score. So be very, very diligent in paying attention at what your grades are when you're taking those classes, because you could hurt yourself, and I hate to say that, but you can in the long run, as opposed to just coming out of that, taking another course and doing very well in that, which will boost your GPA and also boost your chances to get in other schools because of your GPA.
If I could just add one.
Yes.
If I could just add one
Parker.
thing. If you're applying to school abroad, usually the IB program won't give you any problems, whereas the AP program, a college might ask for certain grades or a certain minimum number of AP classes.
All right, great. And I taught at Westlake in my career, so go Lions, and I'm glad you were the first one up to ask that question. All right, yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Breon Billy, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. And my question is, as a student applying for college, what is one thing a student can do or put on their application that makes them stand out from everybody else? Because I know when you're applying for colleges, the competition is so very hard to get into, like Harvard or Princeton. So as a student, what can we do to make ourselves stand out?
That's a great question. Panelists? Okay.
I would definitely say taking your recommendations as well as your personal essay seriously. Definitely want to make sure you have a counselor and definitely a teacher who can speak to your strengths, something that might not be reflected in your grades or just by looking at your application. Definitely using your personal statement, your personal essay to tell us about any accomplishments or anything that makes you unique. Definitely use those letters to help push or set you apart from the other applicants.
Leslie?
I would just say with your extracurricular activities, when we read applications, we look at them and we want to see sustained commitments a lot of times, because we don't want to see that you've joined 20 different organizations on your school or in your community and you've just been a member there. We want to see that you've sustained those commitments, and then sometimes if you're able to, take on leadership positions or put yourself out there to be a leader, because that in a lot of ways can help bring the personal side of things. And colleges want leaders. They want students that are willing to grow personally and who are going to come to their campuses and possibly shake things up and change things. And then once they graduate, hopefully be change agents in the world too. So leadership, sustained commitments is definitely something that you can do to help really strengthen your application.
One more? Let me follow up on what Leslie said too. For some of you, you may be working at a job, and so that can matter just as much as if you have a leadership position on your campus, or you may be taking care of younger siblings at home. So whatever responsibilities you have or whatever leadership you've provided, it can be in your community, it can be at school, it can be several places. So whatever it is you're doing to distinguish yourself, how are you different from anybody else that you know? And so try to put that in your application if you can. One more part. Yeah.
Just to follow up on that, I think that a level of self-reflection in essays can be really important. So not just kind of listing the things that you've done, but really kind of being thoughtful about what impact it's made on you, and then kind of what impact you want to make on a campus in the future. So kind of really thinking about the change that you've gone through in the last couple of years in high school and how you want to continue that. Whenever we see essays that students have kind of really grappled with an issue instead of just listing their accomplishments, that really stands out to me.
That's great. That's great. Okay, we'll come back on this side. This may be as many students as we'll have time before 1:10, so let's go back and forth, and then we'll get the other questions. Yes?
Hi, my name is Sarah Trombetti. I'm a sophomore at Allen C. Pope High School in Marietta, Georgia. And my question will vary between each school, but how often do students have the opportunity to complete research at your school, and do they get to work alongside professors when doing that?
All right, and we'll take a couple of people, and remember now, you will have a chance at the college fair to go up to each school individually and ask. So, yes.
At the University of Kentucky, we are a Research One institution. So what that means, we have ample opportunities for students like yourself who is looking to get into those research projects. We even have it to the level where you can actually do research with your professor, especially if you're taking like those honor classes. They actually allow students to work alongside with them and discover different things that you can do with your professor. And then also we have a ton of study abroad programs that allow our students to do research projects as well.
Great. Antonio?
So Claflin University is a teaching and research institution, so our students are able to do research their freshman year. We also allow our students to receive internships on campus during the summer that are paid research internships. So at Claflin, you're able to come as a freshman to do research starting.
That's great. So do follow that up with some more individual questions. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Terry Samuels Gordon, and I'm from Atlanta, and I go to Frederick Douglass High School. My question was, I'm also in the dual enrollment Move On When Ready program, and my teacher allowed for a lot of amnesty, but I didn't know if it was because it was like a technical school or not. So do big universities allow for amnesty days and stuff like that?
And I'm not sure I'm understanding what that last part is.
Well, if you miss a lot of work or something like that, do colleges do college professors allow you to make that up, or no?
That's a great question, because I think sometimes in high school, I'll be honest, at my high school, I think sometimes the teachers give the students a fair amount of leeway, and so colleges are. Who wants to answer that, and then I'll follow up. Yes.
Okay, if I'm understanding your question correctly, you're asking us if our professors on our campuses allow for students to, let's just call it what it is, miss class at a certain number of times throughout the semester. Am I understanding?
No, even if you're are in class but you don't complete the assignment, are you allowed?
So be late on an assignment and things like that.
Oh, okay. So basically, no. No. The reality of it is this. When you get to college, and this is not just from a Seton Hall perspective, I'm giving you this from I went to college and got a degree, a couple of them, and did that whole thing. You're an adult. They expect certain things from you as an adult. You're no longer with your parents. You're 18. You're going into a whole new world in your life. They expect you to do the work when the work is due. If you do not, you will face the penalty. The difference here is that now you're paying for it. and a very hefty price for it. It's not cheap. So mom is going to basically say you need to do the work. There is no, I mean, you can have conversations with your professors. Some of them will be some may be lenient. Some will say, I'm sorry, it's due Tuesday. You've known about this since when I gave it to you, which was a month ago. So you have to develop some form of study habits. You have to put some responsibility, find some way to make it so that you are responsible for your coursework. Because again, that ticket price, and that's pretty much across the board, is not a cheap one that you're paying. And so you want to know that the answer to that is simply no.
I will also, you want to go? Okay.
Most professors at the beginning of your class, the first day of class, you get a syllabus. You know when all of your assignments are due. So most professors don't allow excuses for that because you knew the day you enrolled in that class. So a lot of times if there is something that you know you're going to be late on, unless it's a very, very valid excuse, then in most cases it just doesn't work. But you know from the first day of class exactly what you have to do and when it has to be done.
And that leads me to me saying, like, time management is key. I know you're going to hear that a lot, and I know when I was a senior in high school, I really didn't understand what time management was. But when I got into undergrad, I ended up having to pick up 2 jobs. My father lost his job, and so I ended up having to help pay for my way through undergrad, and I went private, so it definitely wasn't cheap. And so I really had to reevaluate what that looked like, what my college experience looked like, because I knew my grades had to be done. I knew I had to pay for school, you know, and I knew that I was a junior. So at that point, did I pull out of clubs? Yeah, you know, there were things that I was really invested in, but you have to make that sacrifice. And part of that is just part of adulthood. You know, you learn as you go. But I think college is a great way of saying, okay, I really love this, but I really got to do this first, you know. And so with time, it just starts to balance itself out, you know. But time management is key. If you can figure out your freshman year how to balance your academic schedule, everything else falls into place seamlessly. But you have to know what's important to you and what you really want to make a statement in first.
And I'm so glad you asked that question because I will tell you I had had 3 courses one time when I was in school, and all 3 had a paper due on the same day. From that point on, they weren't due the same day. I turned in one 2 weeks before, one a week before, and one that day. And I didn't let myself even think I had 1 more minute. So that time management. All right, one more comment, Parker.
I was going to say in some European countries, the approach to finals or tests and exams is a little bit different. So in Italy, for example, students can sit the exam whenever they're ready, and you can sit an exam more than once. So say you attend the class during a semester, and then you take the test, and you don't get the grade that you want. You can choose to retake the exam until you get the score that you want.
Wow.
Hold on. Well, because of that, because of that, some students will spend far too long in college and end up graduating after 7 years. So it's not something that's encouraged. However, it is a little bit different than the States where you have one opportunity to take a test, and if you fail, then you have to repay to take the entire course again.
Okay. All right, yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Victoria Walters. I live in Decatur, Georgia, and attend DeKalb School of the Arts. My question is, who would you want the recommendation letters from? The teachers? I work at a theater in Little Five Points. Would you want it from there?
We require at Miami it to be we only require one, and we require it from a teacher or a counselor. But if I see that you're really involved, you know, in theater or at the theater in Little Five Points, and I'd love to read that recommendation because I'm the counselor that likes to know you. So I know, of course, pick a teacher that actually likes you, and I know that sounds funny, but seriously, pick a teacher that likes you. That you know, because you'd be surprised. But if you want to send, an extra recommendation from something that you're really passionate about, we love to read those recommendations.
All right, let's go over here.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jalen Prater. I live in Piedmont, Alabama, and I'm currently a senior at Piedmont High School. And I was wondering, in college essays that ask the question, why would you attend this college, what are you looking for?
Panel?
Excellent.
I got something. I'll go ahead and start.
I think that.
So Oh, somebody. Okay. So what I always tell students is to focus on what you want to achieve after college, and then talk about how our university will help you get to the point where you can achieve that.
And be specific about that school.
Yeah.
That can be one of the most important questions on the whole application, because if you just give general information, they don't know why you want to go to their school. Other panelists?
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that showing that you've done a little bit of research about the school. If it sounds like that little paragraph could be applied to any university, it shows that you're not really interested in us. So making sure that you've spent some time on the website, you've talked to one of us about the programs that you're interested in or what makes our school special and why you want to come.
So a lot of times there'll be college fairs that you can go to and ask those kinds of questions and get some more information. I know we have the NACAC College Fair coming up on March the 19th. That's a Sunday. So we would love for you to come to that. I don't know if you're going to come from Piedmont, Alabama, but there are some fairs in Alabama too. Yes, sir.
My name is Keandre Currents. I'm from Kingsmount, North Carolina. I attend Cleveland Early College High School in Shelby, North Carolina. My question is for the nursing schools that are up there on the panel. What is your national rank in the United States?
Ooh, goodness.
The Ohio State.
All right, while the panel is scratching their heads and thinking what the ranking is, I would just like to say there are a lot of different rankings, and I will tell you that a lot of the colleges hate the rankings because they don't think they're done in a way that really shows their school. However, they often use those rankings when they're putting forth their school and so forth. So your question is actually a very good one. And panel, anybody want to make another response?
This is just a random website. So rankings are very random. However, we, according to this website, are number 31. But we do have a lot of medical centers right on campus. So that's something important to look at when you're thinking about nursing schools. How far do you have to travel to do your clinicals? How far do you have to go out of your way to get those hands-on requirements done for you to graduate?
Another thing about the ranking, well, like Jillian said, there's very random. I think when you make the decision, Seton Hall has a great nursing program, which, the reality is nobody's ever going to tell you that they have a bad one. But you need to look at the school as a whole, too. And I think the more important question when you're talking to individual schools is, one, their NCLEX. What's the passing rate? Because most schools should know what their students are passing the NCLEX at, where they're doing, like Jillian said, where they're doing their clinicals, how far you need to go to do them, how many students get into clinicals, because clinicals are very hard to get, and then maybe job placement. Some schools do know that where their students are going, how fast they're getting jobs, if they can track that. So I think that will be more of a good question. Not saying that what your question wasn't good, because I clearly don't know where Seton Hall is ranked. I'm not 31, but that's not to say that our students don't do well when they graduate. So
that's a great question.
So yes, I do want to tell you that per Google, University of Cincinnati's undergraduate nursing program is number 17.
I showed her how to Google.
Siri told me how to Google it. But with that, with nursing programs, you do want to see if a program is direct admit, because you don't want to spend time at a university and then hope you get into their nursing program. So that's a great question to ask, because a lot of direct admit programs, you'll know from the beginning if you're in the program or not. And the great thing about Cincinnati is that we have one of the top 5 children's hospitals in the country on our campus, as well as a veterans hospital and a level 1 trauma hospital. So it depends on what kind of nurse you want to be. We have great options for you at Cincinnati.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We have time for these 2 questions, and that's it, and then I'm going to get the panel to finish up. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Ashley Cruz from Peachtree Ridge High School located in Sewanee, Georgia. And our school offers gifted internships, and obviously, you get to choose which field you go into when it comes to something like that. But what if you end up deciding that that's not really the field you want to go into? Is it still something worth putting on your college applications and stuff? Is it still something that's favorable even if it's not something you end up doing?
Absolutely. It shows growth, and it shows that when you're coming into universities, a lot of colleges require you to apply into certain majors. So if we see that you tried an engineering internship and you realized engineering isn't for you and you're applying into the College of Business, well, just as long as you include somewhere why you did that internship and you decided it wasn't for you, that just shows us growth and that you know what you want and that you're not wasting your time and our time as well.
Okay.
And just to add a little bit to what Jillian said, I think that a lot of times you guys as students feel pressure that you have to decide in the second grade that you want to be a doctor or a lawyer and then follow that path and create a nonprofit at age 8. You don't have to do that. We want you to be intellectually curious. We want you to try things and maybe they don't work out for you. We want you to play sports and maybe fall over a hurdle and not do that again. I mean, there's a lot of things that you try out as a high school student, but we want you to be exploring. Stay active in the summertime if you can, and I like that Nancy brought up working part-time jobs because that's a responsibility. Contributing to your family is a responsibility. That is leadership, and we value those things too. But we also value someone that is exploring because we want you on our campuses to try things out, explore majors and internships to try to figure out what your passion is.
And I'll also say, like, parents, allow your children to explore, because a lot of the times I know STEM programs are very popular and we want everybody to be nurses and doctors, you know, because we also see the success rate and the monetary success rate with those as well, with lawyers too. But sometimes your child is an artist and they want to be an artist, and we offer opportunities for your children to succeed in that, but because they haven't been encouraged, they're not exploring those majors. And so definitely put it on your application, but also encourage your children to explore things that they're not just interested in, but they're passionate about, because it may forge a completely different alternative for them in their success later.
That's great. Okay, last
Thank
question.
you. Hi, I'm Katie Young, and I'm one of the tutors in Henry County, and I wanted to piggyback off one of the questions that one of the students made when they was talking about coming into college. I would suggest when you're entering college for the first semester, do not overwhelm yourself. A lot of them think they can take the same amount of classes that they took in high school, and then once they get in college and they realize that, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't turn this in. So I will be mindful. Is it safe for me to suggest that? Just be mindful how many classes you take. That way you can keep your grades up and be able to handle your personal responsibility as working, or if you're in school or something. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm not sure, we've only got 5 minutes, and I promise I'm not going to go over. So rather than the whole panel, does anybody have a piece of advice, one piece of advice that you would offer that you feel has not been addressed this afternoon? Panel members, anybody? Antonio?
I think as you go through this process, visit the campuses, please. Do your personal research about each institution that you are interested in. Go to the campus. Visit the campus.
Renee?
I would say this, I tell students this a lot. Do not get overwhelmed with things in this process. It can become overwhelming. You get stressed out about things, but especially about which college you're going to choose. There's a lot of ways to choose colleges. I offer this suggestion to you as a group because I think it works. In the overall, when you're deciding on what colleges to attend, what college you want to attend, there's a very easy way to do it. Rank your schools from where you want to attend the most versus where you want to attend the least, and apply to those schools. Once you get your acceptance and rejections, you will get rejected possibly from somewhere. It's not the end of the world. You will not die, I promise you. Rank them again versus where you want to attend the most versus where you want to attend the least from the schools you've applied to. Then you're going to rank them one last time. Who gave you the most money? Because the reality of it is money matters. So you rank them now by who gave you the most versus who gave you the least. If your top school is still at the top, you go there. But if it's not, then you have a conversation with your family about what you can afford. I promise you, if you kind of take that approach, it will definitely help you when choosing the school that you want to attend, because it takes all of the guessing out. And ask questions, and like he said, visit.
I think one important thing to know is this is your process. Like, yes, mom and dad, you all are such great influences. However, mom and dad, you are not going to class every day. You don't have to be on that, girl, don't get in trouble. You don't have to be on that campus every day, so please don't pressure your child to go somewhere that they do not want to be, unless it's a money thing, we get it. However, please don't pressure your child to go to your alma mater, because maybe they hate your alma mater. They hate homecoming. So please, 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 students, realize this is your process. Take in outside input. You also don't have to go where your best friend goes. You'll find a new best friend, I promise. So it's important to know those things.
All right, I think, Mia, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say on top of that, you just need to know us, know your admission counselors. When you're doing all the ranking levels that Nate required, find out who your admission counselor is at those institutions, because we know more. This is what we're hired to do. I get paid to help you go to college. So I want you to use my resources and everything I have to offer. So if you have questions or you want to know about extra scholarship opportunities, sometimes we're just waiting for you to come and ask us, because we work with so many students. I don't know which one, but if a student comes to me and asks me, I'm like, okay, well, she's the only one that asked me, so that's going to go to, you know? So definitely take advantage of who we are, and don't have your parents email us. You email us. You call us, because that makes a difference. We can tell. We know when your mom wrote your email, because I know how my mom would write an email. So, definitely make that initiative, because we're waiting on you to do that.
One final comment.
Just to kind of piggyback off of Maya, using us as a resource, see who your counselor is in your area. That can be scheduling a meeting with them. We can meet you at your high school. We'll go have coffee with you. We may even have dinner with you, just depending on the school. But with that, just use us. We don't bite. We're pretty much friendly, and we like to think we're funny. So just call us, talk to us. We are definitely there, and utilize us as a resource.
I just want to say that this is absolutely the best panel, and I've done this for a good many years, and they have been very open and honest, and I also want to pay tribute to you students, because this is the best group of students in terms of getting right up and asking wonderful questions. So, National Society students, I am very, very impressed with you and pleased about what you've done so far. And so don't give up. Just keep working hard. Give your best. As they say, don't get your sights set on one school and then think that's the only place you can go. So thank you for having us do the panel today, and they will look forward to seeing you at the fair later. So thank you.